Mic check. Mic. Oh, we still trying. Is it? It's echo now, right?
I'm just trying to see.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Might just be part of the show. I'm gonna just start saying random shit at the beginning and just see if people can hear me or not, and then just be like, "Oh, damn, y'all couldn't hear it? Y'all couldn't hear that? I just broke all the news." Anyway, it's the holidays, so our sound person is
Yep. They can still hear you.
our sound person is on vacation. We just give that to Miles. Miles been dealing with a lot. You gotta take care of everybody. Oh yeah, man. Appreciate you bringing little Izzy out there. I think we're gonna do it again. We ain't doing it next Sunday. I won't be here. We may try to go do something next Saturday. We bring some more kids out. Probably gonna. He can always come out to the practices. We probably won't be having. I don't know if I'm gonna have a 10U team. But I've also found, holidays is a great time to get together with people. And you get. Does anybody's family play games? Like my family plays games. Like they play. We always find They always. We got that one group in the family that always find these random obscure games, but the shit's funny. I mean, fun. Like left, right, center. My son is a gambler. He won. He won the big pot. I almost. I was to tell you how competitive we are. My god brother Steve's oldest girl. It was down to me and her. And for the 40, like a $40+ pot. I was begging, I was praying that I think she's the same man. No, she's the same age as Killer, maybe. Yeah, so she's like 6 or 7. I was praying that she crapped out. That's how competitive we get in these games. I didn't want the child to win the money. But this game, Monopoly Deal or something like that, I got put on. And then I got put on Skip-Bo some years ago, Phase 10 some years ago. And what would happen is every now and then I just say, you know what? They gotta have an app for this shit. I found Monopoly Deal. It's a it's basically a card game for Monopoly. And like it goes so much faster than Monopoly, but all the same rules with Monopoly, just with cards. Shit's addictive, man. The shit is addictive, and I be feeling bad because I be beating the shit out of my son. My son, when he gets his opportunity, that little motherfucker be trying to not just he don't try to just beat you, he tries to take your soul. But hopefully y'all have games. What games do y'all play with y'all family? Damn, I just fucked that up. I'm really sorry. That's why I get playing anyway. Anyways, what we got, Jaden? Y'all know where we're at. Y'all know who the sponsors are. We're taking a holiday break off.
So we got obviously we always start out with FSU news. So we got a little bit of transfers to touch on. Excuse me. And then we have a very busy show today with the weekend of football going on. So just going over the college football playoff round one results. And then some news with Steve Belichick joining the UNC staff as a defensive coordinator. Then we staying with the weekend of football, we're gonna go with the NFL. Starting with the
Texans and Chiefs
Chiefs
game,
game,
and obviously the Steelers and Ravens game later.
that Saturday, and then transitioning to Sunday football yesterday with a recap of some of the most important games or games that had the most buzz around them and a little bit of some facts. Then we got our big Games B.S. segment. Talk about some good moments. Tiger Woods' son, Charlie Woods, getting a hole in one with his dad. So, and then we got a Gilly versus Wallow knockout party. And we got a few funny videos for y'all. So, first things first.
Start off with that. Especially I forgot tis the season and shit. So, all right. So go ahead.
So first things first, FSU lands a pledge from Western Kentucky edge Deontay McCray.
From Sandalwood High School.
He had 21 pressures, 59 tackles, 3 tackle for losses, and 2.5 sacks in 2024, and has 2 years of eligibility left. So, James, do you remember him from high school? The buzz around him, and everything like that.
No. But what was funny is that's what you guys listened to the show on Friday. That's who my guy. I won't tell you who that was, but he was asking me about this kid in the middle of the season. So he's obviously grown into his body a little bit. He's pretty good. I think when you look at his measurables, it's 6'4". You said 6'4", 280, right? He fits the 3-3-5 scheme.
No, I didn't say 6'4".
Oh my bad, I thought you said that. Maybe that's me knowing that's what his measurables are. You just said his numbers. He fits what we want. As somebody say, 2.5 sacks isn't great, but he was also a sophomore. He's one of the good things about the portal. You go in low, and you come out high. So he could probably be somebody put Josh Sweat. I would argue that he's probably going to end up being more like Marcus Walker when it's all said and done. Even though D Walker was a little stockier, also same high school, but I think it's a good get, another good solid get as we continue to move down the path to try to fill this roster out with quality talent.
right, so keep moving forward since we got a lot to cover. We got another commitment from UCF transfer left guard Adrian Medley, 6'5", 305, 7th year, 1 year ago, really left. 26 games, 19 starts, 1,378 snaps for 2024.
I mean, it's an old man strip. He said it's the 7th guy. Get a. All right, never mind. He's with us now, but if he was with somebody else, I would say get a fucking job, man.
So yeah, he had 26 games, 19 starts, and 1,378 snaps for UCF. So his 2024 stats, he started every game, led UCF in snaps with 115, 69.1 per Football Focus grade, 66.9 run block grade, and then 73.3 pass block.
All right, he's coming in to fill boys. Like he's not necessarily a starter, because that's a lot of mid to bring in. But you know, those aren't great numbers. Just think about pro football. Even though I don't like pro football focus, by the way. But we brought in a C student. That's not going to get it done. But as a backup, I like it. Or as a guy to develop somebody, bring in some quality reps, knows what they're doing, I'm cool with it. So hopefully we're not done.
Staying with UCF, we landed another commitment, transfer tight end Randy Pittman.
No way.
Yeah, this was
Yo, okay. Pull up IG. Pull up Instagram. And we're gonna go to MFTK7v7 on IG. It sounds still a little distorted. Jesus. That's a great drop, but it sounds still a little distorted. Listening to my wife. Message just isn't getting through clearly. Yo, Randy Pittman from out of Panama City was committed at one point. I did not realize we got Randy. Randy was originally a no commitment, had a Seminole as one of his coaches, and so you saw it. So yeah, this is boom. One of the original MFTKers. So shout out to that. We had the MF. We do still have those if you want to purchase some stuff like that. It's just I think I'm doing everything $36 or whatever like that. But we still got a couple of those long sleeves somewhere in there. But yeah. So that's good. That warms my heart. We got another version of. I always forget his name. The tight end that came from South Carolina. Jaheim Bell. We got another version of Jaheim Bell. Probably not as big or but he's basically going to be a tight end that's going to be able to move. You mix him in with Biscuit, and we got our tight end. Mix him in with Biscuit. Mix him in with Amari. Mix him in with Landon. Man, our tight end room just got good. And yes, this is something that we always say on this show. I would love to tell you I take credit from it, but I get it from my dog CJ. It's all different holidays happen throughout the year. But you know what season it always is? It is always get your girl back season. And that happens in recruiting is like dating in life. We got this right here. So but yeah. Man, I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
6'2", 225. True junior with 2 years left. He had 11 starts in 25 games, 51 receptions for 631 yards and 3 touchdowns over his career. Is a 3.8% career drop rate. And
shit. Ooh, talk to me nasty. That's sexy right there, boy. We got Murloc has a 97% drop rate. He's already better than what one of the guys we had. So I like that, man.
And his career snaps by position: in line 496, slot 343, out wide 103, and in the backfield with 94. So with the FSU transfers happening this past weekend, obviously the biggest name would be USC wide receiver transfer Deuce Robinson. So Deuce is 6'6", 220. Has 2 years left, and he's of eligibility, and he's 19 years old. Former 5-star recruit, and he was a number 17 recruit in the 2023 class. He has a 35-inch arm length, 98th percentile, 21.3 mile per hour in-game
Hey,
max
this
speed.
has got to be Clay's tweet.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. 'Cause, you know, Clay be putting them damn numbers and shit up there, man. Be like, damn, Clay, how the fuck you know all this shit, man?
yeah. He had 39 receptions for 747 yards and 7 touchdowns in 23 games.
Clay put like he was 25 inches at birth. he was 25 inches. He was a 12-pound baby. Thinned out a lot when he was in 5th grade. Nah, this is good. See, bullying works. I told y'all, man. If D-Rob did not bring him here, we were going to lead the charge to shape him. But now we don't have to do that. Now, what I need y'all to stop doing. I don't like Deion. I don't like Deion with the best of them. But no, Deuce should not wear number 2. I don't believe anybody should wear. First off, you should have to earn the right to wear number 2. Second, you have to if you're a transfer person, I think you really have to earn the right to wear number 2. He should wear 21 like his daddy wore at 21 at Florida State and flourish. I like that, man. Something about seeing, like, you know, the little pictures like this, and you know, it's cute. I hope for this to be me one day. But that being said, I don't know his mom. Apparently his mom went to the University of Florida. So I don't know what, and clearly, you know, she's either extremely light skinned or she's white, which is nothing wrong with that. D-Rob's from the West Coast. But like, how tall is Deuce again?
6'6", 220.
D-Rob, but he got the weight D-Rob had. D-Rob was a big wide receiver. D-Rob ain't no 6'6" though. Man, listen, man. If Trey is 6'6", I don't know. We got a couple of them somewhere in the line, but like that's a huge. I'm not even gonna care at that point if he's 6'6". Just I'm good. But that ain't. They don't make us 6'6" like that. That would be cool if he did wear 7, since he's wearing a 7 and his little costume. I love those little. How did you have your people give you one of them little Florida State Halloween football costumes? Or no? Or Jaden, you ever have to wear one of those? Or what was your Halloween costumes and shit like?
When I was a kid, one of the only ones I really remember is like Darth Vader.
Damn, it was okay.
And G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, man.
Like the dude who don't talk in G.I. Joe. Snake Eyes. I dressed up as Snake Eyes one year.
Bro, how the fuck did you know who Snake Eyes was? The G.I. Joe movie? Did that come out when you was legit?
They had the rerun with Channing Tatum and Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so they did. I'm about to say, I do remember they made that remake. Did no justice to the actual G.I. Joes.
Like a zombie one year, I think, with like the fake blood mask. Yeah, but I never had I didn't really do like that.
Man, I remember this. We had that, and then every Christmas, I think both of my boys have had that. They had the Trey had the Dalvin Cook jersey, man. Love that. Yeah, but Trey, somebody put with Trey wear 36? Hell yeah. I mean, whatever he wants to wear. He doesn't have to wear 36, but I tell him now I don't really want to wear 36. You know, choose your own identity. You already got my name, so. But this is really cool about Deuce. Did we get any other portal guys?
That was the most recent update I have from around last night at 11.
I know we still got a couple big offensive linemen that we're waiting to land. I think Pettis is one of the names, but like I'm talking about big 6'7", big ass motherfucker. Did we get the kid from Ole Miss? Was that the one from Ole Miss? I know we got Ole Miss guy. We got a UCF kid, another UCF lineman. We got a commit from Jones.
He's 6'7", I believe. Junior.
Yeah, he's 2026 kid. He'll have a ranking now. He'll be a 3-star. Probably end up getting higher than that. I trust Herbie Hand's judgment when it comes to this. Oh, but somebody asked about. So we got Daryl Jackson. Daryl Jackson decided to take himself out of the NFL thing. But the same conversation that I had with the scout, Farmer's name was brought up. Same connection to Farmer and Jackson. So if Farmer does decide to pull his name out, I would not be shocked. So, and then we got a key. Oh, we did have a lineman from Rice that would be here too. So so guys, just it's funny though. Are y'all okay now? Because we know a couple weeks ago, but we didn't transfer portals open, and we don't have anybody. Nobody wants to come play for Mike. Mike's mad. Mike's mad. MFTK, guys, just relax, chill, vibe. It's coming. It's gonna come when it comes. And yeah, pause. Damn, that's egregious. That was egregious. It'll come when it comes. It's egregious. But we'll have a good group of guys that we'll all need to be cautiously optimistic and looking at what we need to do with them. So that's the way it goes. And shout out to the Holden Street Elf, my guy Devin Redpress coming through.
Shout out with him. They had the Knowles Christmas dinner, and he just had a little commemorative post to thank Coach Mike Norvell. So with Mike Norvell's second day on the job here at FSU, he called Devin up, said he wanted to meet with him. I put on my Sunday best thinking I'd be hired. We talked, and he told me the door at FSU was always open for me. I think that was my interview. This was my guy. Gave me the best Christmas gift. Gold Knowles. Shout out, Coach. Shout out, Devin. Everything. Wishing you none but success. But yeah, I just wanted to add this little picture on there just to show just our coaching room coming together, coaching staff. And with that, we got some of the tallest pass catching weapons for 2025. So we got some heights of some of our receiving core. So we got 6'7" Jordan Scott, 6'6" Deuce Robinson, 6'6" Chase Lofton. They have Tariq Mallory, Elijah Moore, Tayshawn Gelsey, Amari Williams, and Landon Thomas, all 6'4" or above.
Shout out Tayshawn. Shout out Gelsey. Me and his pops was talking on Sunday. Oh man, just as proud as he wants to be, man. Had his FSU gear on. Actually, it's odd, I got Mr. Jones just called me, so shout out to Tremel making that decision. Whatever, still love you. Wish you nothing but success, except for Thanksgiving weekend. But they were FSU'd out to the tag. Like, imagine having to go change your whole registration because you had to flip schools. That's like a lot of work. But then you had Gelsey, who had been committed to Florida from out of Riverside, and then he flipped. And I think he's more. Actually, now that we have Deuce Robinson, we might be able to show him the exact way we're going to use him. Like, we got the exact same player, more than likely. But Gelsey's son, youngest son, is playing on my 12U team. So, oh man, yeah. Do we have no? Just speaking of FSU former no commits, do we have? Well, we're going to do a continuation on this Travis Hunter situation now that more's come out. Because goddamn, man, this man needs a positive. His old heads need to step in, man.
Yeah, I got
It's getting bad.
I got 2 videos of that, but
Okay,
the one he's referring to, I'm gonna pull that up because I
Okay.
feel like I saw that circulation
All
this morning. But we'll talk
When
with
we
that
get to that, that's
after
fine, but that's just,
yeah.
man, I gotta. This is giving me more reason to want to parent. Like, I got. This is my whole thing with that. I'll get back to women. I need y'all to really parent your daughters, and men, we got to start really parenting our sons because this shit's getting out of hand.
Why can't they do it together?
You can do it together, but I'm just saying, women love to tell men what. Like, the problem with America is we got a bunch of women telling men how to be men, and it's not working, dog. It's like this is by no means right. Like, I feel bad for the jit. No matter how old it is, I feel bad for the jit. But whatever, go ahead.
We'll touch on that.
that.
We'll touch on that. But first things first, the college football first round results of the playoffs occurred this weekend, starting on Friday. So on Friday, this was the most expensive ticket range for the college football playoffs. So we had Indiana at Notre Dame, so a little state on state same state action, and it was 17-27. Notre Dame got the job done. So on Twitter, I know many people aren't fans of Kirk Herbstreit. So he had some wild statements to make about Indiana and their involvement in the 12-team playoff, especially when it's in regards to certain SEC teams. So I wanted to add this tweet right here. So Kirk Herbstreit originally said on College Game Day that, quote, Indiana was outclassed. It was not a team that should have been on that field when you consider other teams that could have been there. Adding, putting a team in, quote, because by golly, they got 11 wins. That's a bunch of BS. So the quote tweet attached to that was Indiana against 12-1 Notre Dame, 20 for 33, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, 27 carries, 63 yards. So Alabama against 6-6 Oklahoma, 11-26, 164 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 30 carries, and 70 yards. So James, do you think Herb is just out of pocket?
It's hard for them to keep saying that there's no SEC narrative when they keep saying this dumb shit. I'm so tired of hearing people say, like all weekend, Alabama would have been better. Miami would have been better. Ole Miss would have been better. You know what? Oklahoma would have been better too. Vanderbilt would have been better against this too. Like they lost. Eat your vegetables and you ain't got to worry about this shit. The biggest problem in all of this is that people wanted to be one way. If this is the case, let's just not play games. Let's just go ahead and have the SEC Big Ten Invitational. There's no way in hell an 11-1 Power 4 team should not be in the college football playoff. And to be honest with you, if you actually watched that game, what you saw was actually pretty good defense, horrible quarterback play, good run game. I loved every minute of Friday. And Friday's game was the most enjoyable game I watched the entire time. Like, Herbstreit is straight up a shill. Like, this is why people were glad when your dog died.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, I'm just saying, like, it wasn't about the dog. You just, when you don't like somebody, you don't want them to have any happiness or joy in anything in life. It's kind of like my favorite Boondocks episode. Like, fuck you, fuck your fairy faggot ass accent, fuck them shoes with the bow ties on them, fuck your gap mouth teeth, fuck Guy Ritchie, fuck the Queen, like all of that shit. Like that, it just makes you want to go down the list of like fuck Paul Feinbaum, overrated Baca looking ass, fuck you. I like Nick Saban before, like what was half baked. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to go down the list because a lot of this shit is just dumb, dog. Like, the only loss they had was they did get their ass whooped by Ohio State. If you want to compare losses to losses, you got your ass whooped by Oklahoma with no fucking receivers. Like, do you know how hard it is? Like, you know how long a season it is when you lose 6 fucking wide receivers? Like 6 Division I, you're on your 7th wide receiver. You shouldn't be beating anybody. But they beat you in the most physical fashion. You scored 3 American football points. You think you going to Alabama? I mean, you think Alabama's going to Notre Dame in the way that the white people say God created the game to be played in the snow? Bro, the way the college football playoff is designed is for blowouts to happen. What they say, styles make fights. Notre Dame has a bigger, well, let me rephrase. Indiana doesn't see, they see good teams, right? But Notre Dame gets a chance to play Midwest teams, they play West Coast teams, they play Southern teams. They're actually the most well-rounded football team in this playoff. Because they have to play in every condition. But Vanderbilt 6-6, I believe. Oklahoma 6-6. Who else did they lose to? They lost to Georgia, right? They beat Georgia. They beat Georgia. Who else did Alabama lose? They lost to somebody else that they probably had no business losing to. Should have lost to South Carolina. They didn't lose to South Carolina. Who? I don't think they lost to Missouri.
Tennessee.
They lost to Tennessee?
Yeah.
You lost to Tennessee, who got mud stomped. Or was it Tennessee or Ole Miss?
There's 3 losses were Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, and Tennessee.
Tennessee got their asses whooped. So, like, what is your argument? Miami. I would have loved for Miami to be in, because then, no, I wouldn't. We would have still got fucked with the Gator Bowl either way. But you lost to Syracuse, and you were up. You lost to Georgia Tech at home. Or no, you lost to Georgia Tech. You lost to Tech at Tech. They beat you at home last year. Like, you probably should have lost to Cal. It's a lot of, like, again, when did we become such losers that we say it doesn't matter how many wins you have? I thought, like, we saw a coach get up on the microphone stand one day and say, they asked him, were you trying to lose for a draft pick? He's like, you play to win the game. Like, that's why you play. Like, nobody goes out there. Nobody's looking at their schedule saying, you know what? If we just have a quality loss right there, like, we don't need to win every game. I have never seen somebody line up. But you know what? When did Kirk Herbstreit go to Ohio State? Because some of this shit might make sense if I can understand history and context. Because what bothers me is that Kirk Herbstreit is put up like he was that guy. It doesn't mean you can't have an opinion if you weren't that guy. But sometimes it's like the way you grew up could literally, like, affect the way you think about life. I've learned that. Losers are bred. Losers aren't like, you're not. It's kind of like you said, kids. They say kids aren't born racist. You're not born a loser. You're raised to be a loser. And maybe Kirk was raised to be a fucking loser. What year was he at Ohio State?
89 to 92.
What was, like, did they have were they like winning and shit then? I know we beat the fuck out of them at Florida State. But what was Kirk? What were Kirk's numbers? Like, Kirk was out there slinging that pill, right?
In his senior year, he played 11 games.
Okay.
Had 155 completions,
Nice.
264 attempts. So that's a completion percentage of 58.7 for 1,904 yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Bitch, you had 4 fucking touchdowns? Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Whoa. Wowzers. There's no way. What does that come out to, man? 4 to 6. So four touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He had a 2 to 3 touchdown to interception ratio. Like, for every 2 touchdowns he threw 3 interceptions. It's 2/3. You have 58.7. Like, how does Kirk? You should have hit the transfer portal. Kirk, if Kirk Herbstreit played in today's game, Ohio State would never. No wonder my father gets mad at him having that job. My dad lives in Columbus. He's like, Kirk Herbstreit was ass, and I never really went and paid. Career 50 again, it's because quarterbacks are judged by like how many yards you have, but maybe I'm trying to find the upside in all this. And I'm not trying to disparage him. I mean, congratulations, you made it. You're one of the tops to make it. But yo, like, this is wild. It was a running game back then, but what was Ohio State? Was Ohio State trash then? What is it? You said 89 to 92? Let's just look at his main year. Let's look at Ohio State, 92 Ohio State Buckeyes. Did wins matter for the 92 Ohio State Buckeyes? Maybe they didn't matter then.
They were 8-3-1.
Oh, you know what? I get it. Like, if wins, let's see who they, John Cooper, okay, who did they lose to? Scroll down. Gotta have the schedule and the results, right? Who did who did they beat? Because maybe that was the quality, the wins and shit. Trust me, when you go 8, when you have them numbers and you win 8 games, listen, it's my guy, but I've been there before, guys. I've been there before. They don't have the schedule? Okay, here we go. Got to zoom in on that one. Even my readers aren't helping me right there. Okay, a quality loss. See, when you lose to Wisconsin and Illinois, you got to be, Now I understand his affinity for the SEC. The last game you played was against Georgia, and Georgia put your face in the pillow and told you to bite down. Oh, okay. Damn, you let Iowa score 15 points on you? But now I understand why his son doesn't like him. Why his son is going to Michigan. Can't help when you're raised, but again, like I said, at a certain point when you become adults, our traumas are now our own responsibility. To be a loser is a choice. You do not. It is a choice to be a loser, man. I do not like this. Nah, man. I'm so tired of y'all doing all this switching the rules and shit. No, bitch. Wins matter. A 11-1 team in a Power 4 conference deserves one of the 12 spots. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of your conference. I would if Alabama had not lost, if Alabama's losses weren't to Vanderbilt and fucking Oklahoma, I'd hear it. Ole Miss lost to Florida, who was ready to fucking pack it in. And your quarterback had one of the worst displays of quarterback play by a quarterback guru. I don't know who else Ole Miss lost. Ole Miss lost to Missouri too, right?
Here, I'm looking it up right now.
No, fuck your wins don't matter, bitch. You're right. Wins don't matter. Losses matter, and who you lost to. You lost to a 6. Well, Florida got to 8 wins, I believe, with the bowl game. But at the time, Florida was like ready to end the season.
They lost to Kentucky, LSU.
Kentucky was below 500, right?
At the time they played, Kentucky was 3-2, and Ole Miss was 4-1.
What was the score? Was it a blowout by Ole Miss?
20-17 by Kentucky.
Kentucky, who plays defense. Kentucky is the Iowa of the SEC. And you lost they scored more points than you. Bitch, Notre Dame would beat the fuck out of you. You think you were going to Happy Valley in the snow and beating them at Penn State? Bro, get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all are getting on my nerves with this shit. Like, it's clear bias. Like, dog, like, y'all are trying to kill football just so we can have a bunch of Southern yokels go around saying that we're the best. We're the best because we beat up on each other.
So just touch on the last thing about this Indiana game so we can move on. There was this funny segment for the college game day with comedian Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis, that's the one who did the trannies beating Alabama joke, right?
Yes. Yes.
It just feels very. I think personally, that same as Alabama, they wouldn't beat. But I think this Washington coach Alabama, I think if you got a team of transmissions, they would give them a good go for the gusto.
So let's see what Shane Gillis had to say about Nick Saban.
You called him a cheater earlier.
I was just joking around. I don't think the SEC paid players ever.
Period.
I'm joking. Are we not? Is this not a fun show?
No.
Serious show?
Serious football.
Like Alabama Jones is very serious.
I do believe in integrity.
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
tried to run the program that way so players had a better chance to be successful
Amen.
in life.
I agree.
We make more money in the NFL than any other school, 61 players in the league. That was how we cheated. We developed players.
Shut up, bro. Shut up.
All right, man. Like,
I like it though.
nah, man. When are we going to stop fucking lying, man? At what point? Here's one of the things. The reason why I am the way I am, right? It was one of the most freeing comments I ever heard. When people say you lying. If somebody tells me that, what makes you think I would lie to you? That would imply that I'm afraid of you. Like, I'm afraid of what you're Nick fucking Saban, dog. We know you paid players, dog. Like, I had 61 players go to the NFL. You know, we had the highest. That was our way of paying players and cheating. Nah, bitch. Listen. Like, where in the world do y'all not believe that it's only one truth? Like, multiple things can be true at the same time. Yes, you have all of the money. Like, those guys were good. They deserve to get paid in college and in the pros. Like, nah, dog, like, y'all be tripping me out. Like, well, like, it's like, it's contest, bro. Like, I don't believe, like, and you can tell, like, Nick, like, when it's a truth that you feel like you gotta hide, that's when it gets really bothersome. Like, Nick was like a little hot under the collar, as they say. Like, he wanted to, it was funny. What makes it even funnier is Nick is a little person. And Nick Saban was like 5'5". I don't know how big Shane Gillis is, but Shane automatically at birth was probably bigger than Nick Saban. So, like, all he gonna do is get mad. But, like, we need people telling the truth at some point, even if it's on their deathbed. Like what's the chick from you ever watch Game of Thrones? Damn. What's the old white bitch that says, like, tell Cersei I did it? Like, that's what we need Nick to do on his deathbed, just to grab Paul Feinbaum or grab Nick Saban, like Kirk Herbstreit, or grab somebody and said, yes, I did it. I paid them niggers and I paid them well. Like, just stuff like that. I mean, you got kids with whole houses that ain't never, like, it was so bad in the early 2000s that my mom did things the right way and people thought that we was getting paid at Florida State. Like, my mom and I tell you, I'll be honest with you, the timing is a little off. I didn't get paid by anybody at Florida State. Now, I did take money from my agent my senior year, but I was gone anyway. But that had nothing to do with boosters and anything else. I never took any money. Well, I didn't take any money. I was never offered any money from any booster or anything like that. But my mother did happen to buy a house my senior year in high school. Wasn't a big house. It wasn't a great house, but it was a house. We moved from our hood into a house. My freshman year, my mom drove a Nissan Altima. She had like it was a 96 Nissan Altima. When she found out I was walking in at 4:00 in the morning to get to Madras, to get to Tully Gym so I could be at Madras on time, she went to the car lot and she bought herself a 2002 green Honda Accord. And then she gave me her Nissan Altima. And people were like, oh, that's that FSU money. My mom told one motherfucker, she's like, what the fuck would make you think I'd buy a Honda Accord if FSU was going to buy me a car? Her car is a Jag. She's always wanted Jags. But that's how prevalent it's been. Like, we know people who ain't got shit, that got shit all of a sudden because their kids was good. So Nick, lie to your pastor. You ain't got to lie to us, dog. We know the game. But that shit was funny, though.
Yeah, he's obviously.
And what I love is Shane Gillis didn't let him get over. He kept pressing it and he kept poking the bear. That's what I need back in America is, oh, you mad. That got you mad. Okay, I'm going to take another little jab at you on national TV. Because you know what, he's mad. He wasn't mad that he's mad that his integrity was questioned, but your integrity is only questioned because it's a stupid fucking rule. The player should have been getting paid. And everybody's doing it. So, like, get the fuck out of here. Lou Holtz did the shit. All them cats did it, man. Whatever. Mm-hmm.
So, just some recent FSU news. So, we officially got Gunnar Hansen, the offensive tackle for Vanderbilt. So, that just FSU football just posted that 20 minutes ago. So,
I fuck with a Gunner, a white Gunner. You know how good if you Gunner, I'm gonna tell you Gunner right now, since y'all motherfuckers be watching the show and clipping it and sending it to people. Gunner, if you don't play well, we're gonna have great jokes about your ass. But if you play well, we're gonna use the fuck out of you. Ooh, does your Gunner work? Is your Gunner are your bullets shooting straight? Like Gunner, like we're gonna have all kind of alpha clinic things for you if you're doing good. But anyways, all right.
So Next, we have the Clemson and Texas game. I just want to put up some of the team stats for that and share this with you, James. So,
What did Jesus do?
so Clemson played Texas at Texas, and this final score was 24-38. So some key team stats for you would obviously be the difference between Clemson and Clemson's pass game. First off, so Clemson had 336 yards in the air, and Texas only had 202. So, and for the rushing, it's kind of flipped as well. So for the rushing yards, Clemson only had 76, but Texas had 292 rushing yards. So yeah, the total yards were not that much different, with Texas having the lead of that with 494 compared to 412. And the time of possession, Texas had 5 more minutes of time of possession than Clemson, rather. So did you get a chance to watch this game, James?
Yeah, I was watching some of it. Texas just also my bad too, by the way. The Notre Dame, going back to the Notre Dame game, 99-yard touchdown run. Like, oh boy, had beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Texas's running game was massive. Like, they were just beating the fuck out of them. So they did not need to throw the ball as much as they were throwing it, because they was just straight up jabbing their ass. Now, here's where Clemson kind of lost a lot of the traction they had. Was it Mav Hoffa, or whatever the fuck the running back's name is, Mufasa, was hurt. And once he came in with a bad shoulder, it got banged up, and that kind of took away the running game. Like, he's a very physical, powerful runner, the kind of guy that you would need to go up against Texas. Texas played a lot more physical. Shout out to, again, it's always get your girl back season. Shout out, soon as Sark got L'Oreal back, and things have been going good for him. But I still don't think Texas is going to win it all. I think somebody's going to fucking punch them in the gut and just beat the shit out of their ass and play good defense. I also don't see it with the quarterback play is just not good in college football and in the NFL. Like, I'm enjoying it because I like good running backs. I like run game. But, like, this shit is just not fun to watch throwing the ball. It looks painful when people are throwing the ball. But to see, I know Clemson's going to get in there and start getting them some transfers, some more transfers. But he's going about it the wrong way, but he's going comfortable. He's getting guys that look like, just they don't look like guys that win football games, but he'll slowly get some better. But, like, home field advantage at Texas felt good, felt like a home game. I think if the game wasn't as, like, it was only 2 real blowouts. If you ask me, because even in that, Clemson still had their chances toward the end of the game. So, like, Indiana had actually believe that the last 5 minutes of the Indiana Notre Dame game were really were stupid competitive, and Indiana still had their chances. So it's the other games where it just got out of hand.
Yeah, I saw online with the Clemson game, they had I think 2 opportunities when they're in the 1-yard line to score, but they couldn't execute, like you said.
What it would have been great, and what would have, if they had a goddamn fullback, they'd have fucking scored. But everybody wants to be pacified pussies and get in the goddamn spread. But hey, what do I know? Fuck it.
Speaking of blowouts, our ACC's own SMU played Penn State at Penn State. And during this game, they had one of their most famous college football rituals, the whiteout game.
Yeah.
And so they also, fans took to social media and located SMU's band because they put them way, way, way up top.
That's fucked up.
So I'm going to share this with you all so you can see
Probably
this
the
video.
warmest place in the stadium, too.
No, facts, because it do get cold there. And so, yeah, you could peep SMU's band right here in the top corner. Whiteout game, if you guys did not know, all the participants are motivated and persuaded to wear white, and it just makes the football atmosphere 10 times better.
By
But
the way, They do that shit no matter where they go. When we played them in the Orange Bowl my senior year, them bitches wore white, and them bitches travel like them motherfuckers is like it was bad. Like Joe Pa had them motherfuckers there before Christmas. Them boys didn't go home for Christmas. They flew to Miami. They practiced the week. They did all their bowl prep in Miami to get acclimated to the heat, even though it was like wasn't really that hot. It's just warmer than it is up there. But like we get there and it's like Penn State fans everywhere. Them motherfuckers taking the full 2-week vacations in Miami. It was a great atmosphere though.
So with the blowout, obviously the biggest thing to take away from the SMU Penn State game was the takeaways. Kevin Jennings, the SMU quarterback, had 3 interceptions, and with some of the team stats right here, for the total yards of offense, Penn State had 325 to SMU's 253, with that being spearheaded by the rushing difference. So SMU only had 58 yards on the ground, while Penn State had 189, with almost about the same rushing attempts as well. So SMU's yards per rush was 1.6 compared to Penn State's 4.7. So what do you think was the biggest takeaway from the SMU Penn State game, James, since it was a blowout?
Shit. The biggest takeaway is that I don't think SMU was as bad as what. Here's why they were bad. It was literally snowing in the Midwest. Oh, like Miles, you can probably attest to this. Miles, you've grown up in frosty conditions.
Yeah.
Did you ever play a football game and stuff?
Yeah.
What's worse than playing a football game is to me, because so snow is powdery. Like it's cool. Like you can actually get around that. Believe it's cold, but it's not as cold as it's not as cold as if it's too cold to snow, right?
Right.
Or let's say it snowed the night before.
That's the problem.
And then you play at noon and the sun is out. So now all the snow is melting. But it's cold. Now it's too cold to snow.
And it's probably snowing again and getting another layer.
But the problem is that it didn't snow for the game. It was too cold to snow for the game. But the sun is out. So all the snow from the night before melted. Like it's pretty rough to play. It's not fun to play. It's tough to live in those conditions.
It's horrible. Everything hurts 10 times worse. Every cut, every scratch, every time you hit another player, every time you hit the ground. I played linebacker, and you have to want to hit players. But when it gets real cold like that, I can't lie. You do not want to hit someone else. You don't want to touch another person.
Like rain in Florida, in the South, it rains really, really bad. It's hard to see in the rain, but you can move. We know how to run in rain. Wet weather, it's just wet. The ground is just wet. You can dunk a football in a bucket and practice throwing a wet football.
Oh, true.
You know what you can technically fuck up your grass this way. You can turn the sprinklers on and learn how to run on wet grass. The only way you can prepare yourself for the conditions that they had is, one, to know that those were going to be the conditions, and two, like go to the 7-Eleven and have them run all the slushies in Dallas and pour the slushies on a basketball court and tell your guy, because you're running in a mud slushy. The only way to know how to do that is to live in that.
Yeah.
And imagine coming from a world where it's 60, 70 degrees to go into a world where it's 20. And then it snowed, and then it's too cold to snow. So that means the slushy is got a little crisp. You know how you put your water or your drink in the freezer, but you don't let it freeze all the way, and it gets that nice little ice crust at the top, and you got to kind of knock it in there. That's what they were playing on, man. That shit ain't fun. Have I ever played in it? Hell no. Would I ever, to be honest with you, if I would have walked out, I might have said, fuck y'all. It was no. See, we were smart. This is how Florida State. This is how when the ACC's fucking over Florida State. Really now, we didn't play Northern teams in November. At home or away, it was always to our advantage. We played Boston College in October, and that's why when I was telling people, I was like, guys, it's bearable. It's like in December when you don't want to, really January, February is when you don't want to be in the Northeast or the Midwest. November is going to be, it's never around Thanksgiving. It's like the week before Thanksgiving, something stupid happens. Like you'll get a snow or some shit like that, but it's never that bad. December, you don't know what the fuck's happening. Like you would rather play Christmas. Because I'm only telling you as a guy who used to go visit his family all the time in Trenton. It always snowed right before we came and right after we left. But the 2 weeks that we were there for vacation, it never did anything. It was as cold in Trenton, New Jersey as it was in Tallahassee, Florida. But then as soon as we left, it was a snowstorm hits Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And you're like, damn. But and then we play y'all in September and October because we know ain't shit y'all can prepare for. Ain't nothing preparing you for 100 degrees in Tallahassee, Florida that it can be in fucking the end of September or October. We gonna roast them Northerners, those Yankees.
I'd still rather play in the heat.
Much rather play in the heat. Unless it's just cold. If it's cold with no snow, you're gonna eventually warm up. But the snow really was, and that's why I'm not really gonna fuck with SMU like everybody else. They played in some conditions that just were not fair. But that's the beautiful thing about winning your games. Had they won, you know what SMU would have had? They probably would have had a bye. They probably would have had a bye week, if anything, but they would have definitely been hosting the game. But fuck them. Fuck the ACC. They were talking shit about us in our lawsuit.
Yeah, Kevin Jennings had 2 pick sixes during that game as well.
Also, shout out to Mandarin. I don't think our guys played, but we had 2 Mandarin alum in that game. So shout out to that. No Duval County, no other school has as many people participating in the state football playoffs. In the college football playoff as us. Shout
out to Mandarin U. So next blowout we have is the Tennessee Ohio State game. Now Tennessee lost to Ohio State and Ryan Day with a score of 17-42. So some big team stats that I want to talk about would obviously be Ohio State's crazy game through the air. They had 317 yards in the air compared to Tennessee's 104. And then with the rushing yards, Ohio State has 156, while Tennessee did a decent job on the ground with 152. And the time possession difference between the two teams was 5 minutes. And as well, Tennessee had doubled the amount of penalty yardage as Ohio State. So what was your takeaway from this game?
Jeremiah Smith is amazing. Will Howard is mid. I don't want a Polynesian quarterback.
Oh my God.
La Vida Loca, whatever his name was, is not very good. The SEC got their ass whooped and nobody's talking about this. I've been on record for years saying this, guys. The SEC has had the best team, typically. The Big Ten is a better conference in football. They're showing you right here, man. And if they get to host it, you're not gonna win. And then, Clay Travis, so funny because you guys, Clay. Apparently, Clay Travis's wife got her cheeks clapped by Eddie George, and that's why Clay Travis hates black people, or something like that. I don't know, but everybody always picks on that. But Clay Travis said it felt like a Tennessee home game, and then you go look, and it doesn't look anything like that. And the SEC has got their hand up Kirk Herbstreit's ass so much that he can't even realize that his alma mater beat the fuck out of Tennessee. and just to question his SEC bias. That being said, Jeremiah Smith is the reason. There should be a petition for you to be able to have if you're a freshman and you want to enter the NFL draft. Jeremiah Smith is what everybody believes Travis Hunter is at wide receiver. He is actually phenomenal at it. It's not a knock on Travis Hunter, but if you had your choice between Travis Hunter and Jeremiah Smith, who are you taking at wide receiver? You're taking Jeremiah Smith every day. He just doesn't have believe it or not, Shadur is just a much better quarterback than Will Howard. Like, Jeremiah Smith is ready for the league now. It's kind of just like my guy B5. B5 can go to college right now at 14. Sometimes there are guys that are here that you just got to recognize it's just not fair to them to have to just sit around and just keep playing. The only thing they're doing is potentially making it easier for themselves to get hurt. So that's the only takeaway from that game is Ohio State's not very good. Neither is Tennessee. Jeremiah Smith is a very, 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 very good football player. And Ohio State has this is the best chance for it also makes me, Brendan, I'm not Brendan Day. I know a kid, Brendan Day, but Ryan Day is just a coach that's got too much talent to fail against guys who don't have better coaching. Which I still don't understand how Michigan beat them. But they're going to get their asses worked. If they, I don't know to who, but they're going to get their asses worked eventually.
So with UNC obviously being a school that has a lot of buzz around them, obviously with Bill Belichick, and now with Bill Belichick's son. So it has been reported that Steve Belichick is set to join his dad, Bill, as North Carolina's defensive coordinator after Washington's bowl game. So, yeah, he's just being on the staff with his pops. Obviously, that was one of the biggest news in college football in recent times. Bill Belichick, obviously 6-time Super Bowl winner, going to North Carolina, obviously having roots with his father growing up, going to some of their games and events there. So what do you think about this this move, James, for his son?
I love nepotism. I don't think there's anything wrong with nepotism if you can do it. The whole purpose of being a parent is to put your kids in a position for them to be successful after you. Like, the only time people don't like nepotism is when it affects you. But if you get the opportunity to do that, you're going to do it yourself. It's literally what LeBron James just did for Bronny, and I loved it. I love every second of it. I love every second of what Bill Belichick is doing for his son. The difference, well, actually, both of them have the same heart behind it. They know their sons aren't good enough to do it on their own. No, well, no, I was like, well, Bron probably had to clap some cheeks in order to get Bronny. That he had to bust Jenny's bus, or bust in Jenny bus. I mean, her things aren't working. She's a little older now, so it's safe sex. I don't think Bill had to do anything. Bill's happy with his young broad, but like, his son is weird. His son might be spectrumy, but you got to take care of your kid. I like it. I'm all for it. Kudos. I hope to be, again, I say it all the time. The one thing that I don't think is expressed enough, because we never get a chance to really have a true dialogue. That's why this show is a safe space. Oh, by the way, I forgot. We got to give a giveaway too. So anybody, if you're interested in getting the pair of tickets to the Gator Bowl, the Mac Daddy Gator Bowl, so make sure you raise your hand. I'll make sure you get that. We have had somebody suggest that if you do it, and you're coming from out of town, you need a hotel hookup, he will make sure you get that thing right. So, just we'll start tracking it, but raise your hands. Okay, but
Give me 1 second. I must write these names down for the giveaway.
But the safe space is this. Guys, there is absolutely nothing wrong. White privilege is real. There's absolutely wrong with white privilege, though.
I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is here's what I mean. No, systemic racism. There's something wrong with systemic racism. There's nothing wrong with privilege. Everybody has their own privilege. Like if and it benefits you, you want it. Like if I go to, like right now, I'm wearing red, right? If I go into a Crip neighborhood and I happen to know Nipsey Hussle when he was alive, I want to use my Nipsey privilege so that I can come out alive. Like all it is all the problem is when you're not aware that it exists, and it doesn't mean you don't work hard. For example, nepotism. This is nepotism, but Bill did it the right way because where did his son just come from? He was the DC on a college level. He has NFL coaching experience. He is setting it up. It's not like his son just woke up one day and he said, "Hey, son, come over here. You played enough NCAA 25. Come over here and be the defensive coordinator for my Spurs." Plus, he knows he can help him because he's a defensive mind. This is where privilege comes in. Like you hire the people that you know and that you're close to. If you get put on and they tell you if somebody hires you as a manager and they tell you, "I need you to immediately hire 3 new people," you may go put applications in, but you're going to tell your homies to go put applications in too. And if it's between your homie and somebody that you don't know and they're comparable, you're going to take your homie.
Right.
That's privilege.
As long as you're not using it to oppress.
That's systemic racism, is using it to oppress. Now, systemic racism is the reason why most of why white privilege probably exists, because there were laws that prevented us for most of our time on America from hanging out with each other. Which is why you needed acknowledge. Like, dude, I could not live. We just started living in the same neighborhoods. Like before, my mom wasn't alive. My mom has been alive when she couldn't move into a neighborhood with you. So it doesn't there's no magic pixie dust that just sprinkles over things and it just immediately evaporates. I understand why all your goddaddies are white. If you're white, that's how it worked. But now we can make changes, but those changes have to be deliberate. And like, again, me coaching lacrosse at Bowles. You know what that's an example of? Fucking privilege. You know why? I'm qualified now. I was not qualified when I got that job. I just so happened, well, not Bowles. When I first started coaching lacrosse, I just so happened to know the fucking lacrosse coach.
That's how a lot of people get their jobs.
Now I'm qualified. I got built up, but the thing is, he was deliberate with it. That's privilege. My son can walk on FSU's campus differently than any of y'all. He didn't do shit to earn the opportunity why he could walk around that campus the way he did. That's called privilege. He's aware that I didn't do shit. My daddy did shit. Now, in order for him to maintain that, he has to do shit. Deuce Robinson probably gets better looks, gets bigger looks. We'll know who he is because of who his father is. Now, he had to work hard in order to become a 5-star. It doesn't take away the hard work. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Just, again, that's so in this situation, there's nothing wrong with this. We should all aspire to be so good at our jobs that our kids can benefit. You know what that's called? Being a good fucking father.
I mean, this happens all throughout football, though. We see this isn't new.
No, the Harbaughs.
Yeah.
Again, example of privilege. A coach that everybody in Florida State thinks is the worst coach we've ever had is William Jerome Taggart. William Jerome Taggart happens to be an adopted Harbaugh. He, as my homegirl Nikki said, he fails like a white man. The minute Florida State fired him, do you know where he was at? He was at a basketball game for Michigan, hanging out with his daddy. Then he went to FAU, got fired from FAU. His other big bro picked him up, and now he's the running backs coach for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. He's just laughing.
In the NFL because he has the Harbaugh lineage. As long as there's a Harbaugh in the NFL or a Harbaugh somewhere, he'll have a job. Lane Kiffin, Dad Monty Kiffin, one of the greatest defensive minds that have ever lived and graced this planet. Got in because of his dad. It's a whole bunch of examples like this. So like, it's just, it's all good.
Fraternities,
Yeah, that's what it is. Just, you'll come up like, hey, my dad told me to holler at you. Oh yeah, your dad was my line brother. Okay, cool. You got the job. Don't worry about it. Fill out this paperwork. We got to make it look legal. I have no problem with it. It's the way the world works. Like, the only people who have problems with it are like Trinity Rodman, who don't realize that they probably got a lot of benefits because, like, not because their skill was there, but it's also, hey, your dad's Dennis Rodman. It opened a lot. When your dad is the top 50, one of the top 50 basketball players to ever grace this planet, it helps.
Don't have any of that though. I say
in sports, you just gotta be fine. And you gotta work hard. You gotta work hard, but you gotta be fine. Jamel, listen. Jamel actually is kind of Jamel is pretty. Jamel is pretty, and she works hard. Yeah, it's just the way some of her ways she dresses doesn't compliment her. But they do have to work hard in the sports field. But yeah, they do have to. But if you have it's one that everybody needs to be on the lookout for. And she is pretty. Ty Floyd. Ty Floyd happens to be the daughter of William Barnard Floyd. Her dad is a Super Bowl champion. He's this. There are doors that he can open for her that she couldn't open for herself, but she works extremely hard. And she's done things for herself as well. I would argue that if my sons are trying to do something and they don't use me, you're an idiot.
Yeah, facts.
So, but yeah. Yes, Todd Bowles' son is considering that for sure. Todd Bowles' son. Actually, a lot of NFL coaches' sons get recruited because they're NFL coaches' sons. And they know that if I bring this guy onto my roster, he would be I would at least have Todd Bowles watching some of our games. But he was considering us. I guess he's going to Michigan, the Freeze. But anyways, though, we can go to.
So this is the schedule for the round 2 of the playoffs. Texas facing Arizona State University, Ohio State versus Oregon, Penn State versus Boise State, and Notre Dame versus Georgia. So who's your picks, James?
Watch out, mouth. Let me see. Zoom, scroll up on that so I can. Oregon beating Ohio State's ass again. Arizona State's beating Texas. Boise. I'm gonna take Penn State, and then Notre Dame's beating Georgia.
So you picking Oregon, Oregon, Penn State, Notre Dame, and who'd you have for the first game?
State.
Arizona State. Okay.
I think the champion, and I called this a while. I think the championship is going to be between Arizona State and Penn State.
Dang, I don't know who I would.
Carson's not playing.
Right.
So I think Penn State playing Boise State gives them a matchup issue. I think Penn State, as bad as Penn State and Notre Dame both have terrible quarterbacks, I think Penn State's better than Notre Dame's defense, and I think they have a better. I think Penn State has a better quarterback than Notre Dame, and better wide receivers. Arizona State is more physical than what Clemson was, so I don't think they'll be able to stop the run, and their quarterback is competent. I think Oregon's just I think Dan Lanning's a better coach than Ryan Day, and he's already beat him. But what I do think is that one thing that Oregon has always struggled with is when a more physical team plays them, they fold. And I think Arizona State with Mosquito or whatever his name is, that Pilgrim can run the damn ball very well. And what's fucked up is Dilly just got a Christmas gift to make sure he'll be back next year. He went and got that the running back from Army that's ran for a whole bunch of yards coming back. So I love it. So I think it's going to be that's my personal opinion.
So we were going to backtrack back to this point with this picture, James. I know you wanted to talk about this and just give some game, but just some context so we can speed through this. There's been videos circulating around Travis Hunter's girlfriend being in a SoundCloud rapper's music video, and then her allegedly twerking on some dude with this same outfit, I assume, at this same party, but you couldn't really see her face. All you could see is her tattoo. So I was trying to go on their Instagram to see, like, if she has a tattoo on that side, but her and Travis actually deactivated their Instagram, so I couldn't verify it myself. So I don't want to say that was the girl, but allegedly that's what people are saying. And obviously this is the newest picture that's been circulating Twitter. So what do you what's your advice for Travis right now, James?
So this is why the more public you become, the more private you need to become at the same time. And I see people saying they're trying to pick on this girl. Like we're not picking on this girlfriend. These things happened. So like, don't do anything that you're not proud of. And it goes into the whole culture that we have right now, where girls just believe they could just do anything and like just not be held accountable for it. Like, don't have, if this was you, this was you. But the real issue comes in is when you say things like, we've been together for 5 years, right? If you've been together for 5 years, when did this happen? Because like, did this happen when you were like 12? And well, which we know that's not the case. We know that's not when it happened. You're with a guy whose life is going to be public for the rest of you guys for the foreseeable future. And like, you going out here, you said he's cheated on you. You're saying he doesn't, and then he goes out on his public broadcast and defends you. And then what they say, they hit you. The worst thing that ever happened to Twitter was this you Twitter. And now everything is coming into light. The aunties are not on your side no more. The unks are like, hey son, what's going on with you and your boo thing? And it's stressing them out. And then what we just saw for the first time, right? We never saw Travis have any chinks in the armor. Now we see chinks in the armor. We saw him break down and say, hey, man, that's my girl and blah, blah, blah. There's something going to happen to one of y'all if y'all keep talking about her. And now, and I said the worst thing he could have done was that. Now everybody's going to they know they can't get to you, but they can get to your girl. And so what are they going to keep doing? They're going to keep going after your girl. And you deactivated your page? Somebody said, oh, man, his mental health. Bro, this is why I was telling you got to have a good psychiatrist. This ain't the place. They're not worried about your mental health. They don't give a fuck about your mental health in the NFL. What they give a fuck is, can you cover? Can you cover? Can you hit? Can you intercept? And can you play? But like, I know what Deion said when he said, none of my guys we're going to all play the playoff game. It might benefit this kid to let him sit out and get his shit together. But like,
being the personality online and the position he plays.
What I tell women this all the time, like you don't want to hear this and you want to feel like you can just do stuff, man. She's not the bad bitch in the relationship. He's the bad bitch in the relationship. And your job is to make sure his life is like, I swear, man, we talk about be his peace and women be fighting that shit so hard. Like in that position, there are thousands of women who will switch to go be his peace. And even if they were whores in a past life, you would know and be upfront with, and like they would try to avoid this shit. Is it fuckboy activity that people are posting this? Yes. You can't control the fuckboy activities. What you can do is control the fuckboys that enter into his life. Like, it's just wild because this man was literally going hard to bat for you. And then this happens. Makes it hard to go back to bat for you.
But do you think he knew about because obviously they were together when this stuff happened. So do you think he knew and they like argued about it? They smoothed it over? Because that's what I think happened. Like, I don't really care about that. And then now since everybody talking about it, it's like,
That's what
I gotta care about that.
Brother. It's always I don't care about that until you got to care about that. And the issue comes that, it's all in your face now. And when it wasn't in your face, you didn't care. Like, it's what happens with cheating. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Most people don't care about cheating. You care about everybody else knowing that your person cheated on you. And the fallback. But then this might be a little different too, because I was going to say, I don't know if she was a virgin because they've been dating since they were in high school. So she might have been, he might have been a virgin, or he might have thought she was a virgin when they met each other. And you can forget about that, but it's tough, man. Like when it's all in your face, and guys, people might not believe this. I wouldn't have believed this if it had never happened to me. There was literally a guy who was with one of my exes that I don't care about it, but I would care about. And he was like, man, I knew she was good, man. All she did was talk about how she used to be with you. And like, dog, man, I knew. I said, man, I got a ball player's girl. And that's their clout. I would never do this either. It's very demeaning to yourself as a man. But there are men who live like this, dog. It's wild, bro. What did Future say? It's an evil world. It's an evil world we live in, dog. But like, it's cats that's really out here, and their whole life is I smashed such and such shit.
I don't want anybody else's girl.
Like, if that's like it, but you know why they can do that? Because a lot of these women's identity comes into I am such and such as girl. That's the only reason we know some of these old.
It's like bragging on wearing somebody else's shirt.
Bruh. People don't care, dog. When I learned that people don't care is like when I became more secure and shit. But Travis, I'm gonna give you the advice that my father gave me, and he doesn't give a lot of great advice, but I'm gonna give it to my sons. You can't pretend to give a fuck. You can't pretend to not give a fuck, then proceed to give fucks. It's just how the world goes, bro.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation, and I don't know. Yeah, there's been so much stuff on that picture we posted had 8.1 million views.
On ours or on his?
No, just the person who reposted it. Just I'm saying how viral it went. It got 8.1 million views, and obviously, him winning the Heisman, everything coming out, all the internet detectives, and just scary situation. But I mean, he signed up for it, so I don't really feel bad for any of them, to be honest. But we don't. That's just the life they live. And transitioning, we had a crazy weekend of NFL starting on Saturday. I believe these were the first games on Saturday this season, with the Houston Texans playing the Chiefs, and the Steelers versus the Ravens. The Chiefs beat the Texans 27-19 in a close game. And obviously through this season, people have been trying to expose the Chiefs and the NFL, obviously, for rigging their games and having a bunch of these no calls. So I have this video montage clip of some of the no calls during that game, and I want to see what you all think about this.
With this video, we're going to do a breakdown for Chiefs fans who think that officiating is actually fair. Apparently, this is not a pass interference call. I disagree. This should have been a PI against Tank Dell put on the 1 yard line. This somehow is an offensive pass interference against Tank Dell. Ball was thrown to the running back in the flat. Somehow that's OPI right there, guys. This was a holding call against Derek Stingley somehow. Remember, you get 5 yards of contact as the DB. There is absolutely no holding there. As you can see, DeAndre Hopkins slips. You can see the grass field kick up right there. He slips and then gets out of his route. He was breaking in, then goes back outside. Somehow that is a hold, which negated this sack on the play. Of course it did for the Chiefs. So no sack. Instead, it's an automatic first down. Here we go. We see a hold by the offensive lineman. Now look at the ball here. Look at the tip of the ball. It starts to move downwards, right? So right there, way before is when the ball started coming loose. And then you see the hand come off as well. But he started losing possession. Watch that tip of the ball. Of course, no holding call here. No holding call. Holding call was on the Patrick Mahomes.
So those are the pretty much recaps of the holding penalties, or of the missed called penalties with the Chiefs. Obviously, the biggest one being that last play with Patrick Mahomes. So I was wondering, James, if you got a chance to catch some of these clips or just even see the end of this game, and what was your thoughts about just how this game went and how close it was? Obviously, it was an AFC matchup, and just want to know your thoughts on it.
They you can't beat the refs. You got to win the game. A couple calls didn't lose you that game. CJ Stroud didn't play very well. That's kind of more lost you the game than anything else. But yeah, I think I personally think that they do get calls. Good teams get calls. So I think eventually it's going to come to bite them in the butt, but they're still very good. So, and I also think the Texans are still a very young team. But yeah, some of those calls were really, really bad. Very, very egregious. Very, very egregious.
So obviously, huge shout out to Tank Dell. Wishing you a speedy recovery because he dealt with this injury, and I wanted just to show this video of it right quick to you all. Yeah. You can see his left leg, something looks like it popped out of it. Replayed a little bit, but not too much. And right there, you can see where my cursor is. It looks like just something popped out of his left leg. So just wishing Tank a speedy recovery during this time. I know it can be hard, especially towards the end of the season after all the work you put in. So I'm just making sure you stay good, stay healthy, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. And so the second game on Saturday was a very, very special one. Anytime the Steelers and Ravens play, you know it's something great. And Lamar has had a lot of difficulty with Tom Coughlin in his defense during his career so far. But I feel like he put the haters to sleep during this game. So the the Ravens beat the Steelers 34-17 at Baltimore. So it was a big win for Harbaugh and Lamar. And Lamar snapped like he always does, 15 of 23 for 3 touchdowns. He had a pick, and he had a QB rating of 115.4 and a QBR of 67.6. Derrick Henry had 24 carries, 162 yards, no touchdowns though. Mark Andrews was a touchdown scorer, Isaiah Likely and Rashad Bateman, and then Zay Flowers had 5 receptions for 100 yards. So what did you think about this game, James? I know Lamar didn't go on the ground like we needed to. He only had 9 carries for 22 yards, which is, wish he had a little bit more on the ground. But what are your thoughts on this game and the performances by both teams?
If they were in Pittsburgh, I picked Pittsburgh to beat them when they were there. I think Sierra's husband is just mid. I think that's what's holding the Steelers back. And I also think the Ravens are young, and they're just now starting to hit their stride. They're going to be good for a while, and they're just fun to watch, man. Shout out to Lamar. What Lamar is doing is proving that he could do it as a quarterback, and I love all of it, man. I think it's dope.
Yeah, shout out to Lamar and the Ravens. They are now 10-5, I believe, and Lamar his stats just keep getting crazier and crazier. This Josh Allen hype train needs to stop,
Yeah.
please, because it's just getting out of hand. I even saw how the media tried to frame it like Josh Allen did have a great game against the Patriots yesterday. It was some post, I think it was by Barstool. Josh Allen threw that crazy interception in the double coverage in the end zone, and the caption was like, "Oh, Josh Allen did an arm punt, like trying to alleviate the mistake, but
Try to joke it away.
trying to joke it away exactly." But Lamar literally is his touchdown to interception ratio is 37 to. He has 3 rushing touchdowns, I believe. Like, what are we even talking
Like,
about?
he's putting up numbers. Everybody's trying to say this man isn't a quarterback, and he's just proving it every day that he can do it as a quarterback. And they won the head-to-head. Lamar's the MVP with another MVP. The only problem is the only Saquon Barkley is playing fucking phenomenal with the Eagles, man. Like, it's like it. But I love it though. Like, and he also has another MVP. He's not the MVP, but Derrick Henry, if he was anywhere else, would be considered having an MVP caliber season. So that's the only kind of halfway pushback I would have on it. But even that, I don't really have any true pushback on it.
Yeah, just what Angelo was saying in the chat. Lamar's numbers are better this year than last year when he did win the MVP. And so it's wild to see all the just slander online about it. But like we were saying, transitioning with Saquon, we're about to discuss this Eagle Commanders game, this down to the wire game. But obviously Jalen Hurts dealt with a concussion, and second string quarterback Kenny Pickett had to play. Excuse me. So their heavily reliance on Saquon was a must. I know Devontae Smith had a clutch drop on third down to kind of seal the game, and I think it was 30-28, but they had to resolve for a field goal, making it 33-28, and the Commanders went down and scored. But Saquon had a ball last night, but also you can't forget Jaden Daniels as well. This rookie has been doing great things, and huge shout out to him and his mom, being his agent, just standing on business.
He's got that wagon. But she's standing. It's standing.
Jalen Daniels had 5 passing touchdowns.
Hold on. Have you seen that guy has gone and done more videos
about NBA moms?
Like the mom, yeah, it's a great era for moms.
Yeah,
and moms as agents, because again, Lamar's mom. Again, you see a trend. Mom and agent. Lamar's mom is his agent. Black mom stepping up, man.
Yeah, shout out to Jaden Daniels. 5 passing touchdowns, 339 total yards with a completion percentage of 61.5. Now, James, I don't know if you caught this game, but I watched this game yesterday, and it was just so insane just to see, obviously Jalen getting hurt and seeing how the Philadelphia can adjust to that. But I feel like every time I watch the Eagles play, I always see Darius Slay getting beat. Every game, and he be the one that be talking the most.
Chauncey got 2 shit talkers on there. Chauncey got his ass dropped. Did you see him getting punched in the face and got a flag?
Yeah, and CJ. Are you? Oh, CJ.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ.
It's Chauncey.
I didn't know it was Chauncey.
Yeah, his name is Chauncey.
Okay.
I just know him because fuck him, because he's a skater.
But he got ejected for having 2 personal fouls. Yesterday, and he flicked the crowd off while he was leaving. But huge shout out to the Commanders and obviously the Eagles. I just want to read and show you all some of the stats from this game. So Saquon had 29 carries for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then Jaden Daniels connected to Olamide Zaccheaus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and then Terry McLaurin. And then Jamison Crowder as well. So all of his passes were through the air. He had 2 to Jamison Crowder and 2 to Olamide and 1 to Terry McLaurin. AJ Brown scored yesterday, so shout out to him. Devontae Smith had that huge drop, so I know Eagles fans are getting on him about that. But Kenny Pickett, 14 for 24, 143 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So can't really expect too much from the backup, I guess.
It's tough when your quarterback goes out.
Mm-hmm. So was this a good win for the Commanders? I know the Eagles were hurt, but even though a win's a win. So do you think this is a good win for the Commanders? Do you think they can try and make a just a little quick more push towards the end of the season,
Yeah,
James?
you got to win. How many games have they won? 'Cause
10.
they're in the playoff hunt, so they need every game matters right now. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, really good win for them.
Yeah, so shout out the Commanders, but also one of the other important games / key games of this weekend was the Cardinals Panthers game. So the Arizona Cardinals lost in overtime to the Panthers, in which they became eliminated from playoff contention. So Bryce Young was doing them boys dirty yesterday. So he went 17 for 26, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Chuba Hubbard obviously had a monster game. He had 25 carries for 152 yards. And I think I put this video in here, but Bryce been in the weight room. He trucked some dude, and I just want you to see, James. He been hearing all the stuff people been talking about him.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, this is the Chuba Hubbard last play. Let me see. Chuba, excuse me.
Oh, well, hold on. Before we get into this, I'm going to congratulate him for that, because if I talk about you a lot, I have to in turn be able to be like, hey, good job. Can anybody read the back of the guy? Can you see where the problem lies in? Who shouldn't we trust? Never trust a man with 2 last names, especially on defense. But let's see what the light-skinned warrior did.
Fight for
By Chuba to call a game. It was a handoff, and then it sealed the deal for the Cardinals. With this, are eliminated from playoff contention, so they went home sad. And obviously, staying with the home team, Jaguars versus the Raiders occurred yesterday with another Jaguars L. So
terrible football, man. We don't even got it. I mean, let's go into Brian Thomas Jr. Shout out to him, but
yeah, that's one of the only highlights I had of this. Yeah, let me share it with you all right here.
Man.
So with that game, this is the mock draft for the NFL. So with the Las Vegas win, they dropped to the 6th pick. And then so the top 3 picks would be the Giants, the New England Patriots, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So if you guys did not know, Brian Thomas Jr. hit over 1,000 receiving yards yesterday. And I believe the last 2 rookies to do that were A.J. Brown in 2019 and Jamar Chase during his rookie season. So he's obviously in great company. And he's just been doing his thing out here for the Jacksonville Jaguars. How impressed are you by Brian Thomas Jr. this year, James?
Extremely impressed. I'm just glad they're finally getting them the ball. It just took – I don't understand what took so long for them to realize that, hey, we should probably get this guy involved. And I just think sometimes football guys make the game way more complicated than what it needs to be. And we end up looking stupid in the end. So I'm glad he's getting active, and shoot, kudos to the Jags for finally doing something right.
And yeah, this is the video I was mentioning to you. It was 1,000+ receiving yards as a rookie, but also 8 receiving touchdowns as well. And this was the play that took Brian Thomas Jr. over the 1,000 yards.
It falls in people's favor.
And obviously, with when you talk about the brother, I thought you talked about Antonio Pierce.
I'm talking Antonio Pierce.
Oh, okay.
I want the brother to be successful.
Oh,
his ass needs to be fired too.
So, with that, actually, yesterday after the post-game press conference, there was talks about potentially losing out on the number 1 overall pick, obviously from the mock draft order I showed you with New York. Was it New York? Let me just make sure I'm right. Yeah, with the New York Giants having the number 1 pick. And so this was his response on them losing the opportunity to get the number 1 pick.
Coach, for the part of Raider Nation that is focused on the first overall draft pick conversation, what is your response to them?
So obviously the reporter asked, what is your thoughts and response about not having the number 1 overall pick? And his response was, talk to Tom Telesco. And Tom Telesco is the GM of the Raiders. So that was his kind of response to that. Like James was saying earlier, every game you're supposed to go there and try to win. this talk of tanking and just trying to get the number 1 draft pick for the next year. That's just the business side of football, and I feel like that's kind of taken away from obviously the love of the game. But it is a business at the end of the day, so I understand both sides of it. But yeah, Antonio Pierce was trying to talk his stuff yesterday, and yeah, do you think he's still on the hot seat, James? I know him losing to a Jaguars team without a backup quarterback in a close game is not a good look at all. So what do you?
You think that Doug, or do I think Antonio?
Oh,
Antonio
no.
won.
Yeah, no, I'm saying even though he won, the manner at which they did win, it wasn't a good win in my book.
No, it wasn't a great win, but I mean, a win's a win.
Mhm.
I think coaches have to win at GM. I also don't like those questions talking to coach, but he's probably gonna be they're probably gonna fire him for a hotter name. And it's kind of sad, but that's the way the business the business is. You got to win games.
Mhm.
And if you don't win, they're gonna get somebody. If you don't win, they're gonna get somebody else in. And it's very simple. It's not a lot of brain to it. So a lot of people try to make this way more complicated than what it needs to be.
Right. And I'm kind of curious to see how this draft will go, if the Raiders will trade up to possibly get Shedeur, because I know the biggest hype train with Shedeur was him going to Vegas, obviously them not having a quarterback, obviously them having a black head coach, all things fall into place. So I don't know how that will turn out with Vegas, and obviously with Antonio Pierce's tenure, if he's still there by the time next year, I hope so, because I feel like if AP is there, I don't know. I feel like that's a even greater guarantee to get Shedeur and obviously have that system around him. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Here's what I think. I think he may survive one more year, and the goal will be to go get Dion. Get Shedeur, and then go get Dion. Dion, I mean, obviously Jags aren't going to pick him up. The Giants have a chance, and what's the more is this? Is the Giants, Patriots, Jags, I think, are the top 3. The Giants play 2 teams that they don't have a chance. Wait a minute. No. The Giants will beat one of those teams they play. The Jaguars could go 1-1 down the stretch. The Patriots have no shot at winning the next 2 games. So I think the Jags go into second place, and I don't think the Patriots drafted Shedeur. So it's going to be interesting to see who gets if this is going to be a Dion search, because I personally think Dion might have done enough to be able to prove that he can go get a shot in the next level, and he's getting long in the tooth. So I think this will help him. But I think Pierce is going to be I don't think he's going to be there too much longer.
Yeah. And we already know how it is with black head coaches, and obviously
I want to say yes, but I want to say this has nothing to do with him being black.
Oh yeah,
this right here has everything to do with him stinking.
No, yeah.
So just because they thought the whole purpose of him getting hired, especially with how he finished as an interim coach, was a former player understands the locker room, and we can do this. So that's the only, not for you, but pushback that I would give to anybody saying that he's not getting the same grace. And if you do know that, and that is true, even more reason to be armed with that knowledge and still not win is it is just not wise.
Yeah, and obviously with his quarterback room, and obviously with his leading pass rusher out, it's just a lot of things have to fall into place for your team to be successful, and sometimes it just don't happen like that.
It's a weird sport like that, man.
Yeah. So we had Michael Penix having his first career start yesterday against the Giants. So Penix went for 18 for 27, 202 yards, 1 interception. But if you all saw the interception, you would say, man, you can't. Interceptions are a stat, but sometimes, man, it's not always. Yeah, it's not always a quarterback's fault. And Twitter went to town yesterday on Kyle Pitts because he was the reason for that interception. And people were just clowning Kyle Pitts just because of how high he got drafted and just this lack of catch in the red zone and on I want to play this for y'all so you can see this interception, the first ever career interception in the NFL for Michael Penix. But Michael Penix, obviously he didn't get a touchdown pass, but he played a good game for his first ever career start in the NFL. And obviously in a weird situation where, you get drafted to a team that pays his quarterback all this money, and then you probably don't know where to stand as in that team, just being a backup. You might not even ever think you'll get a shot, but things like this happen, and Kurt got benched, and you got the opportunity to step up, and you didn't bat away from it. So respect, shout out to you, and hope you keep doing well, keep pushing. And I just want to show this my personal play of the week. It went to the Lions. I know you've probably seen this, James. The Lions had a fake stumble play that they used on the Bears to get over the edge.
It worked once.
Yeah.
Remember he stumbled and handed the ball off. It's okay. Timeout. Is there any Travis Hunter things that we've seen influence the NFL? This is how you know a guy's got influence. Whose stance is he directly acting like in this? There's only one running back that stood like this. That's how you know a guy got impact, man. So no hate on Travis. All I'm saying is we got to start giving people their props when it's time to give them props. But go ahead. Let's see the fake stumble. If you want. So look at the cover. So they're in the red zone. So right now there's anything that can happen from the 20 that could be, my bad. They're not in the red zone. They're just outside of the red zone. Mm-hmm. Basically anything 25 and in should technically be considered that, but whatever. They're right outside of it. They're playing press. He has no safety help. The safety help is over there, is to the right side if you're facing the offense, to the left side of the defense. So it still could be some kind of zone coverage in, but he knows he doesn't have any help. When he sees the quarterback do this and stumble, he's probably automatically thinking that this is a run. So he's coming up for run support. So they couldn't even do a banjo switch right here. So that linebacker is thinking that the corner is going to take the guy for him. So he sees the tight end coming across.
Oh yeah.
So what should have happened was that linebacker should have went with the guy going across. So 50. The wide receiver, he's supposed to carry that. That actually is a safety more than likely, but they didn't switch. So
he
kiddos is when you see this and you have recognized that you have fucked up, pause. Grab them. Yeah. NFL pass interference is a spot foul. I would rather, even if it was 15 automatic, I'd take 15 over 6 all day. So 6 points in the end zone. But if you grab him right now, just tackle his ass. You know who he's not throwing to? Him.
I didn't even understand if he went full speed for the fake towards the run.
Yeah, but he played the area. So, but it was FUBAR, fucked up beyond any recognition.
Oh yes, that is right. So Jared Williams in the chat said it was on Stevenson, the guy who taunted the Commanders game.
Nice.
Tough.
It should never work again, right?
A variation of I don't know. It's Dan Campbell and his team.
Campbell's
so
crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Anybody who threatens to bite people's shins is insane. But yeah, damn.
The only trick play I liked is when they used to pretend to go to the sidelines and pretend that was just cheating to me.
It is cheating.
Pretend to call it timeout.
Thomas Watson put up forward, but you guys have heard his head coach from high school talk. Michael Penix, Jason Roberts, man. Shout out to my guy. I think he's on a boat right now.
My bad. I was trying to just pull up this. It was my computer was just taking forever to load. But we had Joe Burrow yesterday with one of the craziest touchdown passes.
You got a charger? You have a charger?
Oh, what kind?
Well, my bad. You have the new iPhone. Never mind.
But yeah, huge shout out to the Lions though. They have produced 13 wins this year, establishing a new single season franchise record. And yeah, I swear let me see if I put the video. Oh, I guess not. But Joe Burrow had a crazy touchdown pass yesterday against the Browns, and man, he's been balling out this year, even though his team's record does not reflect that. But Joe has been balling out, and obviously Myles Garrett too. So Myles Garrett, he has been making history with his dominance and just his age too as well. He's on track to become one of the greats at his position. So I got it right here.
Sometimes you got to hit a motherfucker with a helmet.
Facts. So Myles Garrett, he is the first player in NFL history to have 100 sacks before turning 29 years old. He's on pace to become one of the greatest NFL players of all time. Do you think he'll be considered one of the GOATs when it's all said and done, James?
Yeah, I think we'll appreciate him more because you're gonna look at his numbers. He looked like an old player.
Yeah,
like he got the face of an old NFL. Like he should be on NFL. That's an NFL Films picture right there. Like, but he's nice. I mean, he was a creative player coming out of college, and he's definitely that now, man.
Do you think we won't appreciate him as much because of his team?
Yeah, because of his team.
Got you. Yeah, Miles, keep doing your thing, man. And so we got our Big Games B.S. segment where we touch on a variety of different topics, fun, serious, just expanding that side of football and sports. So first things first, we have, I know, James, you always mention your sons and your kids and how great it would be them to accomplish some accomplishments, to show you shout outs like Travis Hunter did his dad. And now we have Tiger Woods and his son, Charlie Woods. So they're competing in a tournament together. And Charlie Woods got his first ever hole-in-one with his dad right by his side. So I want you guys to see this video. And would you guys express the same sentiments as Tiger did? I just want y'all to let us know in the chat. I know that must have felt great, man.
It had to be dope. Like, that's so cool. You know, people don't realize it, man. Like to be great at anything, like it takes a lot of hard work, man. It takes a lot of sacrifice. Like, and your dad is the greatest to ever do this. And your dad has been known for and you work so hard and you show him a way. Like you what's cool is like he's able to do what he's telling Charlie to not do. Like go to the next play. Like, yeah, you gotta finish don't get caught up on all the one. But he's able to live that and like show him the emotion. And because he's able, again, like I said, only a loser would tell you that you be Zoom focused, man. So many people are average, right? So many people get to be average. Very few get the opportunity to be great. To be able to have somebody guide you down that path to be great and to actively want you to be better than them. Like those are the moments that need to go viral, not him getting hit upside the head by his ex-wife with a slap because he cheated on her. They're both newsworthy, but I'm just saying they both should be equal. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is what makes Tiger Woods great as a person. I don't give a fuck what happened between him and two adults. Two adults, things happen, man. People do things. That's what happens with adults. But that right there, that man being there and being able to show his son the way with all of the stuff, man, you can't beat that, man. That's a great family moment that we all got a chance to experience. And man, that was dope. And Charlie, you can see he might not be as good as his dad because that's just hard to be. But you can see he gonna have that shit. He talked A1 shit like his dad did in his prime. Actually, I think his dad Tiger Woods stopped being the greatest when he stopped being Tiger Woods. And he started trying to be what everybody told him to be, as opposed to what he knew he needed to be. Because ain't nothing wrong with that, being a shit talking golfer we ain't never had. Now we got Bryson DeChambeau who does that stuff, and they love it. Like, man, fuck it. Be you, they'll adjust. Love that shit. That's dope, man. Good, man. Damn it, Jada. We got that good Hallmark family sports channel shit going on with this, man. I ain't need to see that shit during the holidays. Make y'all mushy and shit. It's cold outside. I want my heart to be like the cold. That would be dope if we did get Charlie to do So Long Fried Rice, Hello Fried Chicken. Or if he just hit it and was like, for shizzle. Like the Chappelle thing. That Charles Walker, that was a good one right there, brother, in the chat.
Well, I got something that's kind of the opposite feeling. I don't know if you guys follow or even keep up with Gilly and Wallow in the Middle worth the game.
A little bit.
So they're starting to do their own fight promotions in Philly, and they had this event called the Gilly and Wallow KO event. And well, this will start off at a funny moment.
So that's what this was about.
Okay. Yeah, so they had a face-off before. Obviously, they have their face-off in the press conferences, and this happened with two other fighters. And I thought this was just hilarious, and I needed to show y'all because this was. Imagine this happening to you. That's all I gotta say.
I was chilling with one of his main bitches last night, the bitch Lee, right? So look, you don't believe me? He can pull his phone out. I'll say her number right now. He can type his number in. I bet you it'll come in his phone right now. Yeah. Hold on. You ready? Type it in. Type it in. You ready? You ready? 267-495. 8495. Well, from Creighton Street, Well got his own crib. Well got a car.
I got bitches, bro. They're not my girl, bro.
That's my bitch now, nigga.
Girl. It's not your girl till it's not your girl.
Man, listen, Mr. Tony, you know the game. Now, your bitch just chose me. Now we can settle this like some gentlemen, or we can get into some gangster shit. Like that's what you just gotta give them to go. I'm telling you, man. Like I just want to get to a world where we just start recognizing that nobody holds the a monopoly on ain't shit. And I love women to death, but like y'all women, y'all be making motherfuckers get deaf. Like somebody, especially when they about to go fight, like somebody's about wars were fought over vagina, not over dick. And these men about to go bump and battle and for honor and of women who ain't got none. So, but kudos to them. I think this is I personally, I was just so like social media has me so jaded that I just believe that this was a rollout to promote the fight. So I don't believe that, but I have seen it in boxing though. I think Adrian Bronner did it to somebody and like showed that he like slept with the guy who was going to fight one of his chicks. And so it has happened before. And ironically, isn't Adrian a Philly dude? I don't know where Adrian from, but like it's again, man, it's best to just
Ohio,
okay. It's best to just keep your private life private. Like that's all I'm trying to tell people, man. The more public you become, the more private that you need to become. So like, but do you have the thing? What happened? Do you know what happened?
So at the event, at the actual boxing event in Philly, the crowd ended up ripping the door out of the venue and having a shootout with the police. So Gilly had to take to the stage and tell the crowd like, get out. Like he told everybody to leave because he's like, man, we try to do much for the city. Like we always try to put on. So that's what I'm trying to ask you. Like he was saying we do so much for the city and this is how y'all treat us. And like, why if I was them, why would I ever come back to try to help y'all when y'all disrespect me to my face like this? What would you say to those sentiments, James? Even if you had an event, somebody did that to your event and, ruined your name, image, and likeness, what would you do about that?
I'll be upset. And he has every right to be upset. It's not so much that they tore the doors off. It's not so much that they even, it's not the disrespect that I would be mad about. I'd be mad that I'm liable if anything happens to anybody. Like I'll be the one who gets sued as the event promoter. So like if somebody would have died, then you'll never be able to get insurance. The problem that I don't think people understand, the wise frustration is they had to get a special license to be able to promote and to be able to do this. And that's probably in jeopardy because of this. Not because this doesn't happen at other venues. I mean, hell, Tupac got shot after a Mike Tyson fight. and they still gonna that fight promoter do their thing. But he's new, and so to have something like that when you first go out is never something that's okay. But what I will say is that he probably should have took more to his platform and his venue to be able to say what it is that he needed to say and to explain why it's frustrating. Let's listen to him eloquently just talk about what it is and what his problem was. And please play the meme after that. That was below that, because that is exactly what it looked like.
Please turn that music off. Me and Wallow put on for the city. And this how you bitches treat us, y'all outside. Fucking ripped the door out, shot at the fucking police and all that dumbass shit. Get the fuck out. All of y'all get the fuck out. That's what type of fucking respect y'all get us. All the shit we do. Get the fuck up out this joint.
That was the first time I seen them look like they really cousins. He did really look like Wallow right there when he took his hat off that time. One, I want to say the only issue I have, right, but the problem is they can't do it because somebody shot, so they have to shut it down. It was outside, it wasn't indoors, so the only way you can do that is increase your police presence, and you have to actually understand why things happen like that. Philly, Trenton, Camden, all of that stuff, you got to know. Like my cousin tells, like when I go up, last time I went up there would be it's 3 years ago since my Uncle Harry passed in February. We didn't go out after a certain time because that's when the YNs is out. And the YNs is wilding. And to be honest with you, it probably wasn't like from what I remember now, it probably wasn't even somebody from Philly. It was probably somebody from Trenton that went over there and shot it up. But I get frustrated as a guy who likes to put on and do different things. My roots are where I'm at. But sometimes it does feel like everybody gets on social media and talks about our problems. They talk about how we need unity. They talk about how we need to put and promote and come together, but then nobody does it. And when you try to put it together, it's like it seems like there's always something that's stopping it. And it's not outside forces, it's inside forces. And when it happens and you get the information in real time, sometimes your emotions won't even allow you to actually really go investigate. That's why I said he probably shouldn't have done it there. He probably should have waited until he got all the facts, explain about what happened, and then talk about his frustration. Excuse me. Somebody posted in the chat that they didn't even shoot. There was they said no one shot at the police, but we're shouting at the police. So, but even then, that's still not. We got to find a better way to do that, because while I am very cautious of 12 myself, as a guy who's been arrested, has been slammed on a hot police car on a cold day, that's had a whole bunch of other shit happen, but actually got taken a couple jabs from a police officer that wasn't necessary. They are there so that nobody does get shot and like to be as a deterrent. So like, you know, you can yell fuck them, but do it across the street away from his venue. You know, like help him out. But all that being said, man, I think the only issue with Gilly is that Gilly acts like he's Wallow. Like, but Wallow acts like the guy who's lived a life and has, you know, I'm not trying to go back that way. One of the funniest moments is when Gilly was like, I used to rap about it. You know, when I used to come on the corner, niggas used to go back inside. He said, well, and Wallow just, when was that? Like, was that when I was locked up? Because no, ain't nobody going inside when you came around, man. That was actually, you was real friendly. He said, come on, man. Like, you just, you know. And I'm like, and he's so small that he gets angry and it makes it even funnier. But like, That's why like guys like Pop Smoke. I did like Pop. I enjoyed Pop Smoke more after I started listening to some of his interviews, and I tell it to my son all the time. I warn people, but I don't. I don't try to go around. I'm not a tough guy. I don't want to go around. You know what happens to tough guys? Tough guys have to always go around proving how tough they are, because tough guys get tested more. But real tough guys don't talk tough because they know where this is going to end when they get around other tough guys. And that was something Pop Smoke said. I said, that's the realest statement that I've ever heard. Because if you've ever really been around guys who are about action and other guys who are about action get around other guys who are about action, they are trying to be as cautious as possible because they know how that thing is going to end. So, but yeah.
So this video, breaking your ankles is a figure. Getting your ankles broke is a figure of speech. But I never would have imagined I would have seen something like this happen or it happening to me.
Now Miles all alone for three, and she got it, but unfortunately, she was all alone because Garcia went down there. Now Miles all alone for three, and she got it, but
she didn't die. She just got her ankles broken, but that's going to be forever. Like, that's forever on my highlight. That's going to be this clip. If this were me, it was just it wasn't like it wasn't the Iverson thing, but like it's boom.
It was slow as hell.
She just gave her the stop. The stop hezzy.
It was Loyola, Maryland, so they're not that good anyway. But
girl is barely on scholarship. Yeah, that's tough.
Speaking of fights, man,
Popeyes. Why? I already know this is not going to end well for somebody.
Shout out to Mobile, Alabama. Shout out my dog Zion. I know he from there, but this how y'all be acting, Zion, in the Popeye.
For people who get really frustrated with people who get really frustrated with fast food workers, just advice. Don't go behind the counter because it's wet back there. They have shoes, they have like grips.
Yeah.
So you going back there with normal shoes, you are SMU going to Penn State.
Yeah.
It's not going to end well for you. You are going to get stomped out. But before we end, I'm gonna give you guys one more. Oh damn, I don't even have my thing. How many views we got on the eye? Never mind, I went down. All right, so we got the people. You right now. You got less than 2 minutes to go and put your name up if you put your hand up if you want some Gator Bowl tickets to see Duke versus Ole Miss. Trust me, it's Mag Daddy tickets. You're gonna get. You have your seat. You also have access to the Terrace Suites where you can get all you can eat, all you can drink, and whatnot. So that'll be the ticket that we gave up. I think you already in there, Angelo. But we'll give away a pair of tickets to that.
Angelo, let me add Angelo. He wasn't in it yet. Yeah, so I got 8 people so far.
Shoot, somebody got a really good chance of winning. You got Primetime Mac?
Yep. I'll show you the
Polo Kid.
The list of names right here.
Oh shit. If Ramon gets in there. You got Polo Kid and Ramon.
All right. Yeah, they just got
and Londa.
Why did they do that? I think that should be everybody.
To be in there already.
Yeah, so I got Angela, Primetime Mac, Robert Owens, Daryl Jackson, Londa, Adrian, Chip, Angelo, Polo, Ramon, and Chip. Oh, Bert. My bad. Bert. You have me on the same. That was old. Yeah. So I think that should be everybody. So I'm gonna spin it.
Hold on. They got LeBron was good. They got to 12. We got 12. They get 12, 13, 15. 2 hours, 13 minutes. So they got 10 seconds.
Okay. Do 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 do.
Yeah, that would have probably been good.
All right. That should be it. So spinning the wheel.
Damn. Londa bringing the hubby.
Dang. Shout out Londa B with the win.
Yeah. Well, Londa, just for my purposes, go ahead, inbox me your email address. I will send you over those things sometime today. We will do another one on Friday. I doubt we have another show between now and Friday, but I'm pretty sure a lot of other stuff is going to happen. Please make sure you guys go get your Christmas shopping. Be safe out there. Don't harm anybody's children. And I appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out with me and chopping it up with me. Merry Christmas to all. And we'll see you guys later.